Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from LastStandGamers, and welcome. So after a rather interesting question from a viewer, I thought I would build something and try to solve a little problem. Now, the question that was posed, is there any point of rovers in Space Engineers? And I just built this base, and I've made it this area so it is kind of more rover compatible, and instead of using ships, you could use rovers as an option. Anyway, before we get onto that too much, let's have a look at the skybox. Now, you may notice that there's a few frame rate drops or sort of lag related drops. It's nothing to do with me, just purely due to the game being in early access and the amount of actual asteroids and other items that are in this world. So in the background, we've got this beautiful sort of Earth-like planet, and then we've got these bluey black clouds, and we've got some purple ones over there as follows another planet. Now, this I have to say is one of my favourite skyboxes, just because some of the Earth-like planets tend to have a very dark sort of cloud or sky pattern around them. You could even say sort of a spacey darkness, where this one keeps the blue clouds, so it really highlights ships and make them feel a lot better, as well as this asteroid ring, making you actually feel part of thousands, hundreds of millions of little asteroids that are circling that large planet over there. Anyway, let's get back to the question, and here is the little base. Now, if you remember the Moon film, you'll notice that this base has quite a similar sort of design. The idea, of course, was to build a base that was mostly submerged within the sort of rock, within the sort of lunar landscape, you could even say. And we've got that sort of base structure going on here. We've got some areas here with windows. We've got the actual ship on top. And you may notice the ship is actually damaged. Well, the whole point of this map is to release it on the Steam Workshop as an adventure map to actually use rovers in, because currently there's 2 or 3 start worlds where you can start with the crashed wreck sort of ship, or you can start with a sort of fully working station, but there's no option to start on a sort of asteroid like this, and the ability to start in something like this will allow you to use rovers as a primary sort of mining, recreational and vehicles rather than ships, so you can mix it up by both having ships and rovers within the same sort of area. Now, let's actually have a look around the station. So we've got one of the entrance bays here, and of course none of this will be powered up when you've actually come into it. I've just powered it up for this so I can show you around. You'd actually have to scavenge the parts from the outside of the base to gain entry. Use your grinders, maybe get in there. And now let's head in through this little door and this little platform. So these doors will be locked, and as we head in here, what we're going to notice is the lights are actually off to save a little bit of lag from me, but you can see it's actually all abandoned. Most equipment is damaged, and you have to find the parts to actually repair it, power up the generator, get the lights back on, so you can actually build the components and actually start your survival adventure. Now, I'm not too sure about this. You'll have to let me know of how you feel about these sort of rocks or sort of asteroid parts being stuck through the walls. I quite like it. It feels like it's sort of been caved in. It's been here for many years maybe, and the asteroids have just sort of caved through the walls, coming through cracks, and they've just formed up in areas. I mean, some of them look a little bit unrealistic like these. They look like they've grown out the walls, but we're in space. We can let that go, I guess. And we've got this area here, but it's mostly empty, so you guys can actually imagine what you want to put in here, so you could build this base up from the ground. It's like a shell ready for you guys to put your sort of impression on. Now, if we head up here, you'll notice that some doors are blocked, like it's like rubble's piled up over the years, and all it's just broken. There's no way through, so you don't actually have to mine your way up to the tower. So let's add that drill onto our bracket, and we'll just dig our way through here, and underneath you can see that we've actually cleared out, and there's a staircase now appeared, so we can head up here into the tower. So if you are playing with friends, your friends might be out in one of the rovers, maybe mining somewhere over there, or mining over at that area of the asteroid, and this tower just allows you to come up, check where they are, maybe give them a quick message, say come back to the hangar, I've got some parts that you need, and you can just drop back down there. Just a nice observation sort of deck, and we can go back down through here if I can fit. Maybe we'll have to get the drill out to get rid of that. There we go, drills away. And now we're going to go onto the lower levels. So to actually get access to the lower levels, you're going to probably have to grind this door off because there's going to be no power. But in this case, I can just open it up, and you're going to have access to some of the other components. I'm not going to show you where the components are hidden within these asteroid locations, so that you can actually have a little bit of fun looking for them and trying to complete without dying and running out of actual power. So this button here is hooked up to this double opening blast door, so you can store your ship in here. And I really recommend trying to play this actual map with the asteroid sort of storms on, because it'd be really fun trying to survive, trying to hide out, making sure your ships are secure, as well as actually building on sort of like rockets and turret emplacements to actually defend that. Something we really need to have a go at in survival. Alright, one press, and there we go. I was just pressing it a little bit too many times, I think. And the doors are coming back across, and it's going to seal out the outside world. I just love a sort of double hanger like that. It makes it so much more realistic. You can actually feel like you can protect your ship. So you could get a small ship in here, and through here you can see there's another caved off room, but I'm not going to show you what's actually down there. Now let's head underneath the station to the vehicle storage area. So if we head back out through here, and we go across the top of the station, and we have a look out here, we'll actually see there's access to the vehicle area below. So this is the actual tunnel. And what's this going to allow you to do is actually drive your rovers out, explore the planet, mine, take on the resources. So you can actually see it's only accessible from the inside this door, so you don't have to find the actual secret way in, but I've just set it on a sensor for the demonstration purposes of this video. And we're going to go through here, and it's all empty, so it's ready for you to actually outfit it with whatever equipment you need. Maybe you want to turn it into a mining sort of facility where you're going to have a few mining vehicles that are going to go out daily and collect your ore and sort of equipment, or maybe you're going to have it in some sort of more exploration sort of base where you're going to have armored vehicles and other sort of cool little vehicles down here. I've also had an idea about building a lift into this segment here that will park whatever vehicle you want on this part, and it'll lift it up through the ceiling into the base, so you can make repairs from the base and you can come straight down. I've also got a staircase that leads back up into the base and through into a rubble area that we saw before. Now let's head back out here. I don't believe we're going to be able to actually access that, so I'm going to have to open up the door manually. So now, as you can see, the door's coming down and it's giving us access back out to outside, so we can simply drive our rover across and out into this area. Now I'm not sure, I don't know what you'll think about this, if you want me to provide you with one or two little basic rovers in there just to get you started on the mining, or maybe just leave it vacant so you have to build your own. And I think that's a bit more of a sort of survival sort of idea, because if I provide everything, then the main problem is going to be that you'll just simply go around, run around, get all the resources with the equipment I've provided, and you won't really have an awesome survival experience. So that is pretty much the base that I had to show you today, and this is probably the only sort of solution you could for having a rover, having a purpose to actually mine, excavate this asteroid, and try out some interesting sort of different sort of survival possibilities. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.